Hey guys and gals, what's up? Happy Saturday. I'm in the middle of a thunderstorm here. I was playing around with my streaming software, uh, trying some new stuff here, some lower bit rate. So I'm gonna drive around and check out the final quality of this thing. I've been playing around with a lot of numbers. So we have very low bandwidth in Louisiana, and I want to learn a little bit more about this here. So I'm experimenting. I got some coffee here from my boy Chad, Mountain to Sea Coffee. Mountain to Sea Coffee. Taking it to mom and dad's. They love it. So that's where I'm going. So other than me driving around in a thunderstorm, this is kind of a test. Very low bandwidth test. So I'm going to save my Louisiana map here or put it in the archives. So now I have my Texas map and Louisiana map. We got rain here, by the way, on the west side of Florida, and it's kind of going to be pushing inland today. Kind of see that. It's moving pretty darn fast, too. Holy moly. There's more out there in the Gulf. That's the current radar above me. Francine kind of changed the flow pattern here a little bit with the winds, so it'll be a nice evening. So I went ahead and bought tickets for Luke Bryan tonight. That's Sarah's favorite artist so far this year. She literally knows every single song. Why are concert tickets so much money? My God. How could people even afford to go, man? So Julie, me and Sarah kind of got cheaper seats. So Emily and her friend can have a little bit better down in the pit. Like, you sure you want to be down there? Like, yeah, it's all right. They're going down in the pit. So this is a very low stream test here. Only just testing my software out a little bit. We can do a tropical update if you want. All right, so let's do a tropical update. Driving on the road, talking to my imaginary passenger here next to me. So we have Gord done, which is not going to do anything. So no stress with Gordon. Gordon's going to remain way out in the Atlantic. And not only way out in the Atlantic, it's going to curve back north. So no real worries on that one. The Carolina coast is a little interesting. So there's a little low pressure out there spinning a little bit right now. You can see it. Not expected to be strong, so don't get worried on that. But we could have a low pressure starting to spin up pretty quick here. You know, it's over that warm Gulf Stream. A couple of models showing possibly a subtropical, tropical storm-ish. Haven't seen any models showing a hurricane yet, so that's a good trend. But could be sneaky, could bring a lot of rain. You know, so far the biggest rain totals are maybe part the northern South Carolina coast there, but mainly North Carolina showing the big rains right now. Northward Virginia. So this thing's going to back up toward the East Coast this week, bring a lot of rain. It's basically the lingering frontal line that's been around forever and ever. So yeah, I mean, we'll keep an eye on it. I mean, heavy rains. Some of the Euros showing, a couple of spots to get up to 8, 9, 10 inches. You get some rain training, they call it, to where these rains kind of pick a spot and they're relentless. So yeah, it's gonna be wet. Big old rain, sloppy rainmaker with some winds and waves. So the other area I got my eye on, man, I was watching it yesterday, and I'm like, I don't want to. I teased about it in my 90-second video update at the end. If you watch that, but there's a little bit of signs that the end of the month here, about 10 days from now, we start to see some lingering lowering pressures down in that Western Caribbean, and that's kind of a hot spot, you know. The way the season's gone, other than Beryl, nothing's been able to form in the Atlantic very well, and that's because we've had this crazy patterns of winds that have been not favorable for systems to get going. We have the intertropics convergence zone that comes from Africa all the way to the Caribbean. It's usually a fine line of northerly winds and southerly winds, and we get waves that get embedded into that. Those are when they can start spinning up once we get tropics, you know, moisture, storms, and they lower pressures, and they end up forming. That's what Beryl did, but we haven't had that. Francine took a while to get going over by the Yucatan. Debbie kind of did the same thing. But anyway, down in the lower Western Caribbean, we got good chances. We might be watching something down there because waters are hot. There's an MJO phase sliding through, which they're very fluid. No pun intended. But they when we get these green enhanced phases of the MJO, it's coming in the end of the month, so it's going to have that. The Euro AI, 4 out of the last 5 runs has been showing something, and the Euro AI did an amazing job with Francine. That's one model. Now the GFS is showing development now. I put the European and GFS ensembles out this morning just to kind of show that they're generally growing, and you know, so that's a long way away. I'm sure people would say it's irresponsible to talk about it that far away, but that's what we do here, and that's what I like to do. But you know, selfishly for me, we're supposed to go to Talladega, so this is what all the questions you guys give me. Like, hey, I got a trip planned October 1st and 2nd. Well, I'm asking Mike from Mike's web page. Hey, we got a trip to Talladega coming, so I'm answering my own self. It looks like it would be right before we left. So, um, but that's a long way away. Like, people like to know what's next. So there you go. This is a very low stream test. I'm gonna go back and watch it. But as far as radar goes, this is a pretty active day here coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. Look at these little popcorn storms here, right? This is Tampa Bay radar. These will be making their way across the state. It'll be a nice night tonight. All this stuff's gonna burn out the energy, and it'll be a nice night. Perfect night to go see Luke Bryan. 1 margarita, 2 margarita, 3 margaritas. Maybe I'll post some videos of Sarah dancing. I'd have to mute them though because you'll get copyrighted for sharing music. You can do it on X, so I might do it on X. But yep, recovered. Had a long trip home. Francine, it's an odd storm. I saw some of the peak wind gusts. There was a couple spots that hit over 90. The New Orleans airport hit 78, I think. Power outage is still pretty widespread up there that way. So a lot of our MWP fans and followers are up there working right now, getting things back to normal. But it was a good trip. Meet people. Love going to Homa. Met some locals. Met a lot of people in Morgan City. Definitely a memorable trip for me. Getting to drive the countryside area, the bayous, and learning a lot about the culture. Didn't really do that the last couple of storms. I'm doing that more and more now, mingling more with the smaller towns and getting to know. My brain is becoming a Rand McNally map. 3 hurricanes chasing now in Louisiana. My truck's been at 2 of them. Zeta, and now Francine. We were there for Delta. We rented a Jeep, me and Phil, with no headlights. My God, it was so hard driving at night with no lights. Oh my God, power lines all over the place, trees down everywhere. So I had a lot of lights in my good old Chevy Silverado here. Been through a lot together. I got to get some stickers on the back. Julie's got a little machine now, so I got to tell her to order some vinyl. She bought one of them crickets, I think that's what it's called. I'm gonna text her right now to get me some vinyl because I want to start putting um, all the storms on my truck, red and white, red and white, red and white. Huh. Poor me. All right, so this is a stream test. If you're just tuning in, we're not doing anything. There's nothing to worry about. I just played around a lot this morning, learning some things, trying to work on my backup streams. And it was frustrating up that there this weekend, last not weekend, but this week. Some of the areas were extremely weak signals. I kind of screwed up a couple of things on my own. I should have known better. We'll get better for next time. So I shared the purple video last night. Oh man, it was a moment there. Chauvin. I think I got a bunch of people that corrected my grammar. Chauvin. We went down to Chauvin. Is that correct? I can't read comments. Chauvin. As we stopped at that little road that headed south, the sky kind of got purplish. I took that video with the clouds up ahead. Didn't filter it or anything. That was the way it was. And what was crazy last night is the comments that came in. There were so many y'all that sent pictures of the same thing from Homa down all around. It was like weirdest thing. So that's twice now I've experienced the craziest sun setting temperatures. So during Isaiah and during Barrel, when I was at Surfside, sunset to the west, same as in Cocoa Beach. Sun was setting to the west, and over the Atlantic for Isaiah was the moment of the most craziest orange I've ever seen. And I posted it, obviously, and didn't look real. But then I saw a lot of other chasers posting the same orange picture from this Isaiah. And then for Debbie, or Barrel had the same thing, man. We're looking out there. That's when I had the video of the cops, rolling up the flag, and it got orange. Like, what the heck? And that was not to west, that was the opposite. So that was weird. And then this storm was weird with the purple sky. Purple sky was just nuts. I mean, weird. I mean, it wasn't from lights because there wasn't anything. And then I had a lot of folks sharing pictures from other storms that had the same thing. So it's weird, man. The coloring of approaching hurricanes, missing hurricane. Hurricanes are like a box of Crayola crayons. Don't know what you're gonna get. It was a real picture. All right, so I'm in Palm Harbor, Florida. Is where I grew up. Rode my bike middle school every day, uphill both ways. Stomping grounds. We moved up here in '85. There was nothing up this way. It was a two-lane road. Tampa Road was two-lane road all the way to Tampa. Boot Ranch was just a RC airplane flight field. The boot was out on Boot Ranch at Tampa Road and Curlew there. It was just, man, nothing back then. Went to Curlew Creek. Oh, elementary school. lot of orange trees here. So this area was all orange trees when we moved in, and every house we had three in our backyard. And over time, they slowly passed, like all of us. But we had big orange trees. I remember my dad going out there, and every time we had relatives come, they take back a bag of oranges, big oranges. I had an aunt, well, she still lives there. I have an aunt, Betty, and my uncle Paul bought a 10-acre plot of land in Claremont so many years ago. They had turtles and it was clay and it was so nature and there was nothing. And you could see orange groves for miles, miles and miles. It was crazy. It's rolling hills of orange groves. And you can go to the Citrus Tower there on 27 and you can see it. I still have visions of that. Now it's all homes. But must have been a lot of people drinking orange juice back then because now there's no orange trees. Where do they get the oranges from now? Somebody's got to be growing oranges. They just didn't stop. Or we just don't drink orange juice anymore. But man, what a visual that was, man. Rolling hills of green orange trees was like beautiful. And clay. Something about clay. I guess living in Florida, we don't have a lot of clay. We have a lot of sand. So when you see clay, I mean, those turtle holes, that was the crazy thing. Those turtle holes. Big old turtles. Or gophers. They call them gophers? I don't know what they call them. Rattlesnakes. They had rattlesnakes. They had a rattlesnake bite their dog. We have cottonmouth. I almost stepped on a cottonmouth a couple years ago. Short little chubby thing. They're not very long, but they're fat at the base and they have a triangle head. And any snake with a triangle head usually doesn't mean good things. So if you see a triangle headed snake, run. Anyway, all right, we're almost at my dad. So this is just a test of my stream. I'm gonna go back and analyze it. All right. So thanks for watching. Hey man, have a great weekend. We'll be live Monday for the Daily Brew. All right. Keep an eye on the lower Caribbean in about a week plus. That might be interesting, but nothing to worry about. Obviously, this far out. Just tropics ain't over. Trust me. See ya.